Alright. Hi. I guess it's a bit late. I think nobody watches this video, but doesn't matter. Today, what I'm going to talk about is what I've been going through actually throughout this 1 week plus, and I think something for me to like document. And you know, when you document stuff and you look back, right, you'll be like, what the fuck, Haris, you're such an idiot, you don't know anything about life. And I don't. uh, Basically what I've been going through these past few days was a lot of self-doubt, a lot of things, noises, hi Justin Bieber, noises in my mind, and thinking where I want to focus on. And I realized that by just not thinking about stuff, you tend to be more productive and have better things to do than just thinking about stuff that doesn't exist. Yes, I think this is new to me, running my own, business, running my own company, just being the first employer of the company. And I feel that what I have to do is just doing more actions rather than thinking a lot. And I realize and chance upon meditation. So I guess meditation is one form of blocking out the noise, or be more aware of the thoughts that is going on in your mind. And then it's also a lot of thinking of what my purpose is with my life, because I think that I've realized from these past few days is I am purpose driven. What I mean is that if I don't have a end goal in mind, or something that I foresee myself to be, then I won't move. I guess because I have a lot of thinking of like, do I really want to go and such? But I believe, I don't know, is it better for you to move but not knowing where you're going to be, or just be at the start line and see exactly which end goal do you want to pursue? Because the path will always be it's a windy road, it's not a straight road, it's a road that's not clearly paved for you. You have to go through the forest and such. I guess I've been through that kind of. I have no idea, I'm still young. 25, I'm 25 and still got a lot of things to do, right? And I feel that I realized that my purpose, because I think like I it is something that I've like talked to. I think I was talking to Daryl, and he was talking about his purpose being like a 35-year-old stay-home dad, due to his experience with his dad. His dad not being there for him. That's why his goal is to be a stay-home dad at the age of 35. And then for me, okay, so from that experience and from other people experiences, because when they start their own thing and whatnot, jigabab, is that they have something that they experience, and they want to be the opposite of that, or they want to be the better version of what they have experienced. So for example, if you were fat when you were young, you want to be someone who's fit, someone who wants to lose weight and inspire people to do the same. I'm not fat. I've always been skinny, and I mean I've already gained enough weight to be very. I mean I've got a goal in IPPT and really worked hard for it, and a lot of trial and error and whatnot, right? So the thing is, like, my story, because Daryl's story is his father wasn't there for him a lot. That's why he wanted to have that goal, and it's very personal. And he also says that when you go through this kind of experiences, this shapes who you are and shapes what your purpose in the future. So I've done like a mind map of whatever I think that I want to be. And then the very, very powerful statement that I've written about myself is basically, I construct Haris. And that's what I got from like Tony Robbins. Tony Robbins is something that Tony Robbins himself created, and that's what I want to do. I want to create Haris Samingan. I don't know if I want to create the happy Haris. I'm not always happy, but I think I want to name myself as for who I am, who I was, and shape to be who I was, who I want to shape, which is Haris Samingan. Samyang is my father's name, Haris is my name. I think both names very well. First of all, like a backstory of mine. So basically this video is about me trying to talk about what I think my purpose is at the age of 25, you know? And this will be the consistent way because this is something personal that I've went through and such. So when I was a little boy, born into this wonderful, amazing planet and era, I was born to a very loving family, stable family, and yeah, and a poor family. Poor family in the sense of finances. So we weren't a family that has nice stuff, but we have enough, you know, enough for us to survive. So I was born poor, and that really taught me to, you know, strive for all the good stuff in life, meaning materialism. So at a young age, I've always wanted things that other people wanted. You know, like, oh my God, why can't I have this? Why can't I have that? I always ask my mom, my dad, why can't I have that? I think they say no money, or like, don't care, or they scolded me. I don't remember at all. But I knew that I wanted to have a lot more than what we have wanted. And back then, I really wanted McDonald's. Like, I really wanted McDonald's because it was just near my house. Back then in, I think, maybe 2000s or 2001s, where McDonald's wasn't very popular. It was for the middle class to the upper class, so they are able to afford. And then like my mom and my dad wasn't able to afford McDonald's, but I really wanted it for no reason. Like, I just wanted McDonald's, and that shaped me for who I am because I love McDonald's, because that's what I always wanted when I was a child. Love eating McDonald's, even though it's consistently good and whatnot. But yeah, I always wanted McDonald's. So that's something I shape. But now I mean, I'm vegan, so like I don't eat a lot of fast food. I don't know. Maybe that's a lie. Just eat the potato fries. So that's one thing that I was, I wouldn't say I was struggling, because honestly in Singapore, just farted, in Singapore, they have systems and assistance for the low income family. So they provide free textbooks, free clothes, free shoes. No, they don't give free shoes back then. And then they try to give free internet, and they try to give free computer, free tuition and such. All of this really helped me have an equal or a better foot on in terms of education, because Singapore government always emphasize education to every Singaporean, no matter what income they have. So back then, Singapore government is able to afford that kind of assistance. Nowadays, the assistance that students who are in low income family get is extremely more than what I had. I didn't have coupons to buy my meals. I still have to get money from my mom and pay, you know, but I wasn't able to, you know, get a lot of things. But it was okay for me. I was used to it. I didn't have all the stationaries they get. Even the mathematical calculator was free for students nowadays, which is great. It's just that the level of help drastically improved throughout the decade, or now almost to 2 decades of my experience so far. And it should be always increasing, because that shows that the government really cares about the people at the low end. All right, so a lot of things I'm very grateful to the self-help organization Mendaki, and then other organizations that help. I forgot the is it the Lee Kwa Hua organization that helps low-income families to just go to events for free, you know, and then just be engaged in activities in terms of self-development and self-growth, which I really liked. So that's the backstory of me in a poor family. And I realized that I mean, even if you are poor, right, it doesn't really train you to have delayed gratification, because you even want the thing of materialistic gains even more because you don't have that and people have that, so you're pressured to get it. But for me, after a while, I realized that this materialism isn't anything that I like. Like, people buy expensive shoes, I don't. I love gadgets, but I don't buy them to the extent that I would make myself broke. I don't go on holidays too. I don't find a lot of these materialistic or experiences very attractive to me. What attracts me is success. What attracts me is knowledge. That's why I'm building my own shit. Right. So next up, yeah. So if you guys have watched my coming out story of me being gay, oh my god, I have to get used to the word, the G word, the gay word, and I realized that that's my dad. Say hi, Papa.
Hi.
I'm. Do you want to take your phone?
Yeah. Baby. Shooting apa?
Yes, I am. That's why I close.
Sorry ya. Okay, bye.
Bye. All right. So at the same time, I was coming out to I created a video that explained to me how I know that I was gay. I am gay, and my coming out story to my parents and to the people around me. Yeah, it's basically that. And I guess like the sexuality thing, I've gone through it. It's because like it is not out in the public. It's not the norm still currently in this 2019. But a lot of younger people, or people the age of me, I'm considered young, are now open, sharing their sexuality online in social media, in like Instagram or Facebook or TikTok or whatever, right? Which I'm very happy about. So maybe like that's my purpose, I guess, to, because like coming out videos, I don't see a lot Singaporeans do that, you know. I mean, is it a good thing or bad thing? I don't know, like, is it a good thing about coming out videos? Why I did that is because I just want something out there to tell everybody that is in my circle of social media, you know, to know that, you know, I'm gay. That's about it. I don't want to, you know, go one by one, waste of a lot of time. And yeah, basically about it. So like, yeah, that's just a small part of me. I don't know why I said that though, but yeah. And okay, so maybe that's not my purpose because I'm not really into that movement of like LGBT or whatever. But I am aware that I am gay. I think that's about it. Then I mean, if you need help coming out to your parents or whatnot, just hit me up, or you want someone to talk about it, just hit me up. If you think you are attracted to the same sex and you're not sure, just hit me up, because it's very, I can tell you very easily. If you are not, it's a very simple thing. Yeah, but the next point I want to share is that I want to talk about the community that I was born in. So as you can see, I'm Chinese. No, I mean, a lot of people mistaken me as Chinese. I don't know why. No, I'm considered Malay, even though my race is Javanese. I follow my father's race, but if you're not Indian or you're not Chinese, you are probably alien. Why are you talking in Indian accent? But I mean, what I mean to say, basically this is Malay, and Malay is not actually a race. Historically, the British, when they came to Singapore, they are able to identify Indians and they're able to identify Chinese, but there were Arabs and at the same time the locals and people around that look like brown people but not Indians. So they say, okay, this group is called Malay. And then after that, most of the Malays, or maybe all of the Malays, are Muslim. So I mean, the Singapore government, or the typical thing is the Malay Muslim community. So this is gonna be a topic that I think is not been talked about, and I think I want to start. Okay, so the Malay Muslim community. Okay, first of all, I am Malay. I don't know, like, if you call me Malay, I'm okay. people call me Javanese. Nobody call me Javanese, but people call me Malay, you know. But if you want to call me a Malay Muslim, I wouldn't say I accept that, because I wouldn't say I'm a Muslim. Why? Because personal reasons. Basically, I don't believe in a God. That's about it. Next. So, the Malay Muslim community, it's something that I'm really passionate about helping, because in a sense of like, when I was poor, I guess a lot of poor people, or I don't know, like, this is just my biased observation, but the people who needs more help, it's the community that I'm in, you know. So there was once where I went to a Mendaki event because I wanted to like expand my circle of network or whatever, and then they have this book. So it's like Singapore Malay Muslim community in figures, basically statistic about Malay Muslim community, right? And when I read about it, I was really shocked, because in general, as in Singapore, right, if you're a Singaporean, you are one of the most luckiest person in the whole fucking world, because it is the best country to be at. All the countries that are successful, or most of the countries that are successful in terms of security, racial harmony, so on, or whatever, who are able to live peacefully, are homogeneous countries, basically one race countries, meaning like those Sweden or German or whatever lah. Basically, they got their shit together. They're a bit socialist, whatever. But they are run by mostly their one race people. They are not like comprises of different races. So if you have different what do you call it, different ideas, cultures, and opinions and perspective, right, you tend to clash. There definitely clash in terms of whatever. So in Singapore, we managed to, you know, be peaceful about our different cultures and religion and perspective and whatnot, which is great. We tolerate each other. Don't know about accepting lah, but I mean, for me, I'm very accepting, because I'm gay and I don't consider myself Muslim. I don't pray, but I don't drink alcohol and eat pork because I'm vegan. Anywho, so a bit out of the topic, but what I've realized so far is, even though the Malays are the second largest population in Singapore, I think it's still quite small. And I guess one statistic really like shocked me was where, I guess in terms of financials, because income wise, I knew well my family financials back then when I was poor, right? So I realized that, let me flip to the page, types of dwelling. Wait, where's the financials? Okay, so I think it's very outdated. I don't know what's the financials. I tried to research, but it was not open to the public for some reason. But as you can see here, I'll probably put a picture, but let me put it here. So average household income at 2000, right? Chinese had 5,258, Malays had 3,151, and Indians had 4,623. It's average. Try to not to look at the average then. Try to look at the median, because median meaning the most densely data in a cross amount of data. That's where it's the most accurate, and that's what you want to see. So Chinese and Indians have roughly around similar 3.8 and 3.4, but the Malays have 2.7. So in 2010, right, it dramatically increased. However, like the Chinese and Indians still have the same difference in terms of like actual monies, which is around 200. Well, Indians earn more actually, but yeah. But the Malays still lag back at 3.8 for 4. So the thing is, it was really shocking, because like Indians themselves are the smaller minority. Smaller minority. They are a very small population in Singapore, but they are able to manage to have a very high income. And then Chinese, with the huge amount of population, right, they respectively have 5.1, but Malays have 3.8. So that really struck to me, because like this is something I relate a lot, because like from what I've seen so far, my bias and narrow vision of the Malay Muslim community is that they work at jobs that they think it's enough for them. They don't want to achieve higher. A reason that or observation that this is just my opinion, maybe it's correct, maybe it's wrong, is that in the religion of Islam, I mean, I'm probably wrong, but from what I've seen so far in the culture, I wouldn't say religion, I would say in the culture, is that we tend to be grateful for what we have. That's a very good culture to have, but a very bad culture to rely on. What I mean by that is that in terms of human development, human growth, right, we always tend to have a growth that should always increase and increase and increase. That's how a whole civilization will survive in the future, you know, and how we can grow. Humans always tend to grow, you know, it's a human nature thing. But like the Malay community still lacks that growth mindset, you know, because like don't need to upgrade yourself, don't need to take more responsibilities, because in order for you to grow in any kind of corporation and whatnot, right, you have to take in more responsibilities. A lot of these I mean, Chinese and Indians, I don't know, like, but from the statistic, because more money means more responsibilities, we can agree to that, you know. More money means you will need to have more responsibilities. For the Malay Muslim community, I don't know, but this is what I've seen, is that they just like where they are, they don't want to upgrade. Even though there are opportunities that is being presented, they say it's okay, I have enough, I think my family can survive and whatnot. Even though they still grow, but doesn't grow enough. So one of the problems which have been said by the ministers, like, first of all, we have to tackle the issue of education. Like, the Malays don't really graduate, not all of them graduate from an institution of education. Not all of them graduate at where they should graduate at. So for example, the lowest, I don't want to say lowest, but the minimal, so there's a lot of like different levels, right? ITE, Polytechnic, and JC. So that's after secondary school. And we haven't even have 100% graduation of people from ITE yet, which really, you know, made me think about what are we doing wrong or right, kind of thing. Like, what are the different self-help groups, organization are doing and such. And that's really is the chunk of my purpose, because I feel that a lot of things culture can't really solve and might be a problem too. And I think we need to always evolve, because time, the rate of change will ever be increased, will ever be faster than usual. I don't know what I'm talking, but basically, if you don't change, you probably lag behind, and then you will suffer, because you have to agree that money is the one that makes you survive in a country. You know, I mean, any country, you need money to survive. You don't need cheap and whatever, that kind of thing, but like, you need money to survive. And then one more thing I feel is that, other than the students who have not graduated in ITE, or like who haven't like finished their secondary school or whatever, right, then I've seen in the actual workforce, you know, like a lot of, this is just my opinion or observation, that a lot of Malays are in those like gig economy kind of jobs. Basically what I mean is that they work for Deliveroo, they work for Grab, they work for all these jobs that may earn them a sum of money, but they are not a job that allows them to grow. So when you work as a delivery man, right, what do you learn? You learn to be a customer service kind of person, roughly. You learn how to navigate the streets. What else? Like, there isn't anything that you can, increase in terms of your ability to earn, because basically people pay you according to how much you are valuable to the company. So for example, if you're a software developer like I used to be, you are worth a lot, because currently now we are in the technological era where every company has an app, has a website, and there isn't a lot of people who knows how to build this. So the value of the work that I was doing back then is a lot, and it's still a lot more, because there is a high demand but low supply. But this gig economy, there is it's a high demand, and there's also a high supply, but the value that you give to the company is not a lot, in terms that they are just paying you according to the deliveries that you make, and it's not a lot to the point that you can grow. For example, a software developer, right, you, as the time goes by, you will earn more, because you will gain in experience in terms of tech, and then after that you can be a tech lead or manager position, or even a project manager, where you're able to lead people in terms of that. I don't see this gig economy being able to be like a manager of taxis. I don't know, is there such thing? Comment down below. Or like there's a manager for delivery people, like for like I can see sales being that, like you have a group of salespeople to get to close deals, and then you train them, and then you get as a sales manager, you get more products in your line, and then that kind of thing. So that there's a high income or high value kind of job, and that's where it really hits me hard, because for me, I went through a 3-month course of programming, and it is hard. It takes money, but in the end, I got a lot, and my potential ability to earn is so much higher. Even though I sacrificed 9 months of me being paid less than 1,100, but after that, then I managed to secure a full-time job, and I managed to have a lot more, if you just have that delayed gratification of just having that money. Because like doing Grab, right, you can easily earn 3,000, but in the end, if for example in the future, if there is the time where cars will be replaced by AI, then what are you going to be left with? So I think that's something that I'm very interested in, to teach programming, because I've been through that, and I see the potential of it being a high value, high income job, right? That's why I've been teaching kids programming in this programming volunteer organization that teaches low income students from low income programming, because I feel that I can impart knowledge to these kids at a young age, because kids are still fresh, they are very honest, they are very naive of the world. So if I can impart the knowledge of programming, and even values that I believe that can be passed down to them, and be and help sculpt the better culture in the future, that would be great. Because like all of these things, I feel, are something that should be taught in schools or should be taught in classes, but they ain't be taught, because all about the grades, all about their shit. But in the end, like, I'm really like passionate about it. And lastly is because I feel that now youngsters are all over in social media, which I am in also, because I love social media. It is something I thrive on, because I'm very self-centered. That's why I'm doing this. And at the same time, I feel that I want to be an exceptional role model, because I think when I was young, as a Malay, Muslim, whatever, right, I didn't really have a Gary Vee or like a Grant Cardone or whatever, there are Chinese billionaires, there are CEO, Indian CEOs, you know, the Google CEO are Indian, the Microsoft CEO is Indian, but there isn't like CEOs of Malays, like role models of very successful Malays. Even though it's not all about the money, but beach, you know, it's all about the money. It's all about that thing, you know, to be successful. There are some now that's like thriving. There are some role models that's open up, but I feel that in terms of business, in terms of like being a leader, CEO, like I don't see that yet. Maybe there is, but like, what if someone, right, like what if there was a Malay CEO in Microsoft? I think that would change a lot in the mindset of the Malay Muslim community. Maybe not in Singapore, but in other regions also. Like, did you know there's a Malay astronaut? You know, like, dude, that's so great. But I think not a lot of people know. I know, like, it's like, oh my god, that's like first time a Malay person go up to space. Fucking cool. But I don't know if people are motivated, like, or get inspired by that, because for me, I get inspired by that. Like, what I've been through so far is that I know anything is possible if you really are hungry for it, because it just takes a lot of time, but in the end it is worth it. Like, that's how delayed gratification works. That's how success works. You have to be patient. Like, I have to be patient because I'm new in this business game, or in this like startup or whatever game, but like, that's the thing that I want to achieve, is to be the exceptional role model of the upcoming Malay community. Because I don't feel that all Malays are Muslim, because like, if you want to be the 100% Muslim, like, dude, dream on. Like, all of nah, I don't think that everyone is 100% clean Muslim or whatever. Like, for me, I have a different reason, because I've explored the belief of God and whatever in my own, like, in my own I question. So in the future, I want to question hard questions to either myself, or to through this video, or to people that are able to, you know, like, what's the notion of being gay in a Malay Muslim community? Is it still like people still disagree with it? Like, I don't know. Or like, is it common for Malays to be just Malays and not Muslim? You know, like, for me, I want to push that boundaries to question everything that we have been dealt with. You know, like, Malay, like, why are we have the stereotype of being bad at math? Why we have the stereotype of being drug abusers and whatever, right? Like, like, there are people, Malays, like, if you want to be 100% Muslim, you cannot have tattoos. But I seen people with tattoos in mosque praying, you know. That doesn't make sense. The thing is, like, I don't judge, but the thing is, we have to open up this kind of conversation to whatever, because I feel that once we just get that Muslim out of the Malay community, right, and be open to whatever we are, right, I think that would be great. Because like, I don't say like, oh, Chinese what do you call that, Chinese Buddhist, Chinese/Buddhist, Indian slash Hindu, Hinduism, correct, yeah, Hindu. So like, why does Malay have to be Muslim? Because last time, it's like, fuck last time, like like, things change, you gotta change, you know, you gotta change, open up, like, speak. There's a lot, it's 34 minutes, but fuck it, baby, you know. So that's what I think my purpose is, to just be that forefront, you know, to just, there are people who do that, like Hirzi, who is openly, I don't know if he tells himself, but like, openly, like, drag queen kind of thing. Great. I think he's gay or bi. He's gay, I think he's gay, yep. But like, you know, this kind of thing that people don't openly say, like Americans, like, don't have to be like Americans, but I don't know, it's just the conservative kind of culture will be slowly broken down due to social media, because that's where a lot of young people are going to voice out their opinions and such. I'm really happy with that, because this is what tech can do. Tech can create very good, maybe bad, cultures which may not be regulated. You know, that's the good thing. Yeah, and I'm really happy. Like, yeah, so that's the thing. Like, I think to be an exceptional model as a 25-year-old with the social media around saying that, oh, you have to be entrepreneur, I don't know. Like, I just want to fulfill my potential of being a leader. And I don't, should I be a leader of Malay? I don't know, but I want to be an exceptional role model to the young people, that you don't have to listen to your parents, you don't have to do whatever they say. If you really believe in what you are and what you want to do, go ahead, you know. But you have to be real. Like, if you want to do your stuff and your parents hate it, get the fuck out of your house. If your parents are okay with it, good, lucky for you. If not, get the fuck out of the house. Singapore is good enough. You can find people to stay in. It's just that we are Singapore. Like, you can find places to live in by yourself. It's fine, you know. I mean, that's about it. Yeah. Oh, I broke my camera, so I'm using iPhone camera, which is pretty good actually. And yeah, that's about me. So there's a lot of things that I talked about, but we'll see how it goes. I don't know. Thank you for those 4 or 5 viewers who stayed through 36 minutes of this thing. Basically, I'm just talking about the purpose that I have, because what I believe is that everyone's purpose comes from their story, their own personal story that they have gone through, and they want to give back, to serve the people, to be better than what they have been dealt with, you know. Yeah, so thank you for listening. 36 minutes. Goodbye.